Let's now look at the reaction between the two ion pairs of sodium sulfide and calcium chloride. These are going to start out as aqueous ion pairs, so let's write what the formulas will be. We will start out with sodium ions and sulfide ions, and we have calcium ions and chloride ions. We're going to make our neutral compounds that will be in aqueous solution. So we will cross our charges. So we will have Na2S. All ion pairs that include sodium are soluble. So this is our aqueous. And calcium chloride will cross our charges to get CaCl2, which is also aqueous. We will run the reaction, which means we're going to do a double replacement, which means the calcium and the sodium are going to switch places. So I'm going to write my anion, S2-, with the new cation, which will be calcium 2+, and my other anion, which is chloride, with the other cation, which is Na+. No need to cross the charges here. The 2+ balances the 2-. So the formula for calcium sulfide is CaS. And of course we have sodium chloride. If we go about balancing this, what we see is we have 2 sodiums here, so we're going to need 2 sodiums in the product. There are 2 chlorides, and now we have 2 chlorides, 1 sulfide, 1 calcium, so we're all balanced. Now we just need to establish whether we have created a precipitate, and if so, do we have a reaction? If you look at your solubility chart, what it will say is that sulfides form insoluble compounds, except group 1, which would be sodium sulfide, as well as ammonium and then calcium. So calcium is an exception to the fact that sulfides form solids with metals. So this is going to form simply an aqueous mixture of ions. You know that sodium chloride is aqueous because all compounds with sodium dissolve in water, so this is also aqueous. So we have not done a reaction. We would simply write no reaction. And this is because at the beginning we have aqueous ions, sodium ions and sulfide ions in solution. At the beginning we have sodium ions and sulfide ions, as well as calcium ions and chloride ions. And at the end, calcium ions, sulfide ions, sodium ions, chloride ions. So all we have is one big mixture of ions and no changes in state. No changes in state. So the aqueous ions remain as aqueous ions. We don't form a precipitate, we don't form bubbles, nothing like that. They just remain as aqueous ions. So there's no reaction.